Ladies and gentlemen, this is Why Am I Nerd presents Alphabetical Games, episode 8. I'm Kevin James, joining me as always, from the beginning, just Matt, Slug and Water. Yeah, there you
go. Yeah, there it is. Hi.
Yeah. Took you long enough. You gotta make sure you position yourself, because, there you go. Now you have bunny ears. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Never mind. Oh, I forgot. You can see yourself. Wow. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm good.
So we had Jason trying to get in, but he's having problems. I don't know. He says it's loading. It's going back. So he's out. Unfortunately for this time, I guess he has shitty Wi-Fi from this storm, which the storm sucked. But yeah, I only lost power for like 2 hours.
I fortunately did not, period, at all lose anything.
Really?
Nothing. I've been good, going strong.
You got lucky. You know, my neighbor's the man, and he fucking works for JCP now, so he just freaking shot over there and fixed it because he has young kids, we think, and then we're good to go. So
my office is still out of power. Like when I was leaving the office on Friday, they were like two massive trucks like right outside fixing something. So hopefully we'll be back on non-generator power tomorrow.
Oh, you guys on generator power?
Yeah, they have like this massive natural gas generator outside. So we didn't miss a beat, but it's just like weird because I have to keep the lights off in my office. Otherwise, they're like sort of like pulsing and flickering, and then I feel like I'm gonna go blind. So
I guess that's what happens when you're a big company like that. Must be nice. I'm still trucking along on Ghost of Tsushima. I just hit Act 3. Again, I'm gonna get that platinum. You did it last week.
I did. Well, I just I got it on Wednesday. That's it. I told you I would have it. Last week I said I would have it by the next episode, and I did. So.
Easy platinum.
Totally. It's really there's nothing to it. You just gotta just do shit.
Yeah,
you can't miss anything. You just got to do shit. That's it.
The one trophy I'm definitely gonna wait till the last minute on is the one where you have to do the max standoff.
That's super easy.
Yeah, I just don't feel like wearing that armor.
Yeah,
and you have to max the armor out.
Yeah, takes just. I mean, I only really leveled up the fucking traveler armor, so I have enough funds to just do it. So you can just go bang, 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 level it up, go to some camp, and be like, "What's up?" And then just do it right there.
As long as did you do it before you beat the game? You got that trophy, or did you get that trophy?
No, I did it before I beat the game.
Okay, so it
doesn't matter even if you beat the game because there's still tons of Mongolians everywhere enough to do a standoff. So,
without going too spoilery, did you like the ending?
I did because there's a little bit of choice to it.
I had that spoiled, and fuck you, anyone that does that. You're a fucking asshole.
Does what?
Like, don't fucking put on YouTube on the front page, do this and you can get these 3. It's like, what? Like, thanks, dick. Like, how's it even allowed up? How does YouTube not filter that the fuck out? Like,
I don't know.
God, it's so fucked up. Fuck you.
I mean, there's only two choices. So, I mean,
there's 3 endings.
I know. There's 3? I thought there was only 2. There's only 2 choices.
Apparently there's 3 endings.
Oh, well then I only got I chose the one.
There's like, it says like good, bad, and then like indifferent. I don't know how you get the indifferent.
Really? I don't know how the fuck you get the indifferent one because when you're at the point where you have to make a choice, there's literally only fucking 2 options. This isn't like Mass Effect 3 where they had to give you a 3rd option because people got pissy. So
yeah,
whatever.
What do you
I made choice A. Well, I bought Doom on Friday.
Eternal or
Doom Eternal. No, the first one wasn't bad, but then this one, I don't know, man. I don't like it. There's just too much shit going on.
You don't like it?
It doesn't feel like fucking. It doesn't feel fun. Like it's really weird. Like it's all the same, pretty much all the same fucking enemies from the last one, with like maybe like the addition of 1 or 2 other ones. You know, the weapons are all pretty much the fucking same. You just have a couple of other little random abilities, and I don't know. I just didn't like it. And honestly, I'm already done. I'm out. Like I just fucking stopped playing it this morning and deleted it off my hard drive. Like
how far did you get?
That was a quick. I don't know. I think I got probably quarter or halfway through the game, maybe. I don't know. And I was just like, it's not enjoyable. And that's not to talk shit on people who like Doom, but like, I don't understand just the craziness of when this game was announced. I remember, the show when it was announced, the fucking crowd like just loses their minds over Doom, and everybody just shits their pants. And it's nothing really groundbreaking.
That is linear, right? They stuck with the linear format.
Yeah, I guess there's like areas where you kind of have a little bit more exploration, but it's really not. You go here, you fight this wave of enemies, and then you get this thing, and you open this door, and then you fight that wave of enemies over there. It's just kind of the same shit. I think after this now, I'm officially just done with Doom, unless they went back to doing Doom, like a horror. Because they did that on the original Xbox. They had
Doom 3, right?
Was it? Yeah, Doom, or rather, that would have been 360 then, or was that the original Xbox?
Doom 3 was on. I thought it was on Xbox. I remember playing it, and I was like, "Wow, this game actually looks really good." It looked good for the time.
Yeah, and it was a horror. I think they did it more like a horror type game. I remember being eerie. You're walking through, and there's just these big fucking, that would be cool. This is just, hey, we're gonna play death metal blaring in your ears at top volume while you just kill the same 5 types of demons over and over and over again until you can advance to the next area.
Yeah, it was strange.
I don't know. I mean, it was only $30, so I was like, fuck it, why not?
I don't know. Resident Evil 3 needs to go down.
That still needs, so I won't be playing that until that's less than $20. But I did buy another game. It wasn't on sale, but I've been looking at it for a long time, and I finally bought it. It's called Children of Morta, or Morta, depending on how you pronounce it.
I know what you're talking about.
It's about the same people that made like Moonlighter and a couple of other games, Frostpunk. So far, love it. I've only played like an hour or so today, and I absolutely love it. So that's a good makeup.
And what type of game is it?
It's a roguelike. When you die, you lose your progress within the dungeon, but the dungeons are only like 2 or 3 floors. And then when you die, you don't like have to start a new character. You just die, and your character is transported back to the home base, and you can start putting the money you got and stuff like that into your stats, and then just go right back into it.
So is it more like Dead Cells or more like Moonlighter?
I'd say probably more like Moonlighter.
Moonlighter's a great game. If anyone hasn't played that, you should definitely check that game out.
Yeah, it's not like Dead Cells, because with Dead Cells, like when you die, you completely have to start from scratch. Whereas with this, it's your character. It's cool because you get to pick from all the different members of this family, but you only have 2 to start with. And then you fight. Oh, I tried to fight the boss. I died. I went back to the main base, and I had all this money, so I started putting it into health, weapon attack damage and shit like that, and did another run, failed, and it's just rinse and repeat. But it's actually fun. The graphics are really cool, and there's a story to it. So definitely going to have fun playing that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess the indie titles are where it's at, because we really don't have much coming out anytime soon, except, again, Kingdom of Amalur. Fuck it.
Right. That's what is that the end of next month, or is it the beginning?
I think it's the beginning. I actually don't know. Oh, no.
Well,
okay.
I can't trust your opinion when it comes out if it's good, because you're going to say it's good anyways. So I have to look to the rest of the internet to tell me if it's worth it.
Well, then you also have Mafia, the remake, coming out, which I definitely going to wait for reviews, but I really hope that game comes out.
I mean, it's only $30 or $40, which is a good start. But if the reviews are good, then yeah, I would see myself maybe getting that just as a little picker-upper.
And then obviously you have the beta, which you were telling me before.
Yeah, so that's another thing that I'm going to be pre-show. I got a very, very late last-minute code for the private Avengers beta that's happening this weekend. It ends at 9 p.m. They said it's not like 9 p.m. in one time zone. It's just 9 p.m. on Sunday, whatever time zone you're in. At 9 o'clock, you just can't play it anymore. And then the next 2 weekends after this, it's going to be public. My friend Eric has already been playing
shout out.
Game. Yeah, shout out to my good boy Eric. I love him. My best boy. He said that the combat's fun, story's interesting, but he said the loot system is absolutely fucking stupid, and it's totally pointless. Because you basically get like, say you're Iron Man or whatever, you get, a chest piece, whatever, you equip it, but it doesn't change how you look, and it barely affects your stats or whatever. So it doesn't change how you look. Yeah. So it's just, I guess there's just skins, and then you wear the skin or you don't wear the skin. But if you get a piece of armor, it doesn't change anything about your appearance, which I think is really lame and pointless. That don't have
that sucks.
Just give me skins and then just let me level my character up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that blows.
Yeah, I'll have more news next weekend and double down on the news, because I'll be able to play this beta today, and then I'll try to play it more next weekend before we do the next show to kind of report back. But based on what he told me, I will not be getting this game at launch. I would get this game, maybe because it's going to come out, and then it's going to come out later on PlayStation 5. This would be kind of one of those games where I would get it maybe mid-level sale on like PS4, because I know that if you get it, you get a free copy to the next generation. So I would wait, get it on the cheap on PS4 so that I can just get bumped to PS5.
Yeah, from what I've been hearing from other people that have played it and just reading, it's kind of falling. It seems like in like that, if 1 out of 10, 10 being highest, obviously, like the 6, 7 range.
That's what I'm saying. I'm hearing too. That's what I think. Just based on what he told me and our other buddy James. Shout out to James. He also I think they were playing co-op together, and he kind of just said the same thing. Like they said, graphically it's cool, characters, the banter, the dialogue, stuff like that all works. But probably the biggest factor of this game, which was supposed to be the loot system, is fucking garbage. So it's disappointing.
That's a shame. That really, really sucks.
Yeah, super is. But actually, they don't really have a lot of time to fix it. But this is technically they said this was a game as a service, so they have time to fix it post launch. But that could be bad because there might not be enough people post launch. So yeah.
Well, I guess we'll see. Which is actually this might tie into something I want to talk about. Before we get into that, once again, this is Why Am I Nerd presents Alpha Beta Gold Games. You can follow us on Instagram at Why Am I Nerd Official, Facebook.com/Why Am I Nerd, and listen to new episodes every Monday on YouTube or your favorite podcast service. So, what I wanted to talk about was obviously Rocksteady has confirmed Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
this
big news,
and I think this is kind of going to tie into what you were saying before about the Avengers. Is I'm going to. Again, no one has any idea what it is. We won't find out until DC Fandom, which is August 22nd. And of course, the event's 24 hours long, so who knows what fucking time they're going to talk about it.
Yeah, like I could wake up to that news at 6 a.m., like getting ready for work, and they're just announcing it, or it'll be like before I fall asleep, some shit like that.
But so for me, okay, so this game I was talking to, who's I talking about this? Matt from Yoda Comics. This to me has to be like DC's version of Marvel Avengers. Like I don't know what else you could possibly think.
I think that's the best. I think that's the best correlation. And it's funny because didn't we speculate about this shit on like the first episode of this? And I was like, I have no idea what to picture that this could be. And I guess that actually is the most apt thing because it all depends on how big the team is and how many different people you got in there. But is it going to be? It's crazy. Is it going to be more like this, or is it going to be more like old Marvel Ultimate Alliance? Are you going to control four people at a time? I thought that
too. Like even like Dragon Age, like Inquisition.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have a team that can be autonomous, but then you can swap between them, which could be fun. But I don't know. I can't believe that this shit is actually happening. Like this is a real game. This is a totally real game. That I would have said, no, they're just going to do another Batman game, and then this is it. And then that Superman on the cover, there was I sent you something to the official last night or like 2 nights ago, where it was saying who is the Superman on the cover because it might not be Superman, it might be Bizarro or Clark if he's being controlled by somebody like a mind control kind of thing. Like it might not actually be Clark, but I don't know. I'm hoping that when they announce this thing, it isn't just some 20-second teaser where they just pan out and it's Superman there. I want to see an actual fucking trailer. Like, show me a little bit of what's going to be happening in this game. Doesn't have to be gameplay necessarily, but give me a solid, like a minute and 30-second, 2-minute trailer of the plot of this game because I'm gonna need it.
I think they need to show gameplay because what are we going to sit here and speculate? You can, like you said, you can either do Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Now, again, is it gonna look like Marvel Ultimate Alliance? Does it look like Diablo, where it's like the isometric top-down type view? Which, if they do that, I think you're shooting yourself in the foot. I think this has to be a third person.
Dude, imagine they do a third person cel-shaded comic style Suicide Squad game.
I think they shot themselves in the foot not doing that by putting that poster up.
So then I guess by the poster you would say it's probably going to look more just like the Arkham games. It's going to have that more realistic-ish feel, but still comic-y enough that it has that vibe. Obviously, with the Suicide Squad, no one in that group is normal, even fucking remotely. So you have to kind of go comic-y with it. You're going to have and that's just it. What the Suicide Squad has had so many different iterations since they started that. How many people are going to be in the squad? Is it going to be a set team, or is it going to be you're going to have a bunch of people and then you make your own squad?
I think they're going to have to go with if you think about it, the biggest thing that DC has going for it right now is you could easily say is the DC animated universe. I think that was like the biggest thing that kind of happened then that like really never kind of missed a beat. Maybe there's like one or two movies that didn't. So I would assume you have to pull in the characters from the animated series. I don't think you can pull the characters in from the movie. Like the one
I think the core group is at least going to be Harley, Deadshot, maybe Deathstroke. I feel like Deathstroke would be really fucking cool, but that's kind of, I know he's not really traditionally.
He's like a DLC character.
Yeah.
He would be a DLC
Captain
character.
Boomerang, probably.
Yep.
Did you say we're going to say Huntress?
No.
Is Huntress part of the Suicide Squad? No, she's part of the Birds of Prey or whatever.
Katana, maybe.
Katana would be cool. I could see that. That would be the more likely choice of someone who's wielding a sword type weapon than Deathstroke. But they got tons of options. But at least Harley and Deadshot, if they don't have either one of them, I think people are going to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And I think the big thing too is, like we had said before, off camera, obviously we were talking about it, is if this is just a Harley Quinn game, I mean, why are you naming the Suicide Squad?
Yeah, and I would be, and that's not to say, and if that were to be the case where you're just playing as Harley, I probably wouldn't get the game. And that's not just me being, I'm being a male, I'm being misogynistic, I can't play a game with a female in it, because I play tons of games that have female protagonists and strong female leads, and that doesn't bother me. It's just, I don't want to be stuck with this character swinging a fucking mallet the whole time. Yeah. I want to have diversity with my characters, especially if you're calling it the Suicide Squad. That's different.
And I guess the other thing too is it going to be looked at like kind of the gripe that I think is happening with the Avengers game is obviously like the only character really that could level up in the Avengers game that makes sense is kind of like Iron Man and maybe like Hawkeye.
Necessarily,
you're not going to level up Thor.
You could, depends on the costume. I was actually just discussing this with some friends the other day with his costume, because he has like all the plates on his, on like those discs on his chest plate. Like maybe those are like runes that you had in God of War, and maybe each of the runes gives some sort of different boost or something, like that. Or, the helmet with the wings, is he wearing that? What does the helmet do? And if you're a Black Widow, you would level her up in her acrobatics or just her combat prowess. And then what is she equipping? That's how you would level her up. Or,
right.
With Hawkeye, you have different, it's all just, there's different skills. Iron Man, you're leveling up with him would just be making tweaks to the suit. Do you want a laser? Do you want bullets? Do you want missiles? Do you want mines or some shit like that, or do you just want to be super fast? But I think you can level up every character. The only one that I say, how the fuck do you level up the Hulk though?
I was gonna say that too.
The fucking Hulk. Captain America, you can level up Captain America. I'm sure I'll be telling you next week, but the Hulk is the fucking Hulk. If he gets pissed, he gets stronger. That's it. So
yeah, I don't know. I think that with Suicide Squad, I think Deadshot is a must. I think that'd be awesome to play. Obviously, Deathstroke, I'm calling it now. He's gonna be a DLC character. That's my prediction on that.
You can do Croc. If they wanted to throw Croc in there, but then that's their Hulk. They just have a big crocodile man. But I liked his in Arkham. I don't think they gave him enough. Gave him enough love in the Arkham series.
Oh no, especially not the first one. You fight him in the basement in the sewers there.
You just run away from him. You don't even bother with him. Yeah.
I think that what I would like to see is, unfortunately, you can't really make this linear. I don't think. I think this would have to be some sort of open world of some sort. It's probably going to happen in Arkham City.
Well, then that also begs the question: what universe does this take place in? Does this take place within their Arkham universe? I feel like that would make a lot of sense. If you've built this universe already that's in DC, you might as well keep your Arkham universe going. But then, where in the timeline does it take place? Is this post Arkham Knight? Like, is this post Batman's out of the picture? Spoiler alert, sorry, or kind of out of the picture? Or is this pre? Before Arkham Asylum, but before or after Arkham Asylum, before Arkham City? Like, where does it take place in their timeline?
So first of all, I thought what you said before. I thought about being in the Injustice universe would be awesome.
It'd be so fucking cool.
That's like one of my favorite graphic novel series ever. I mean, especially year
that's
one.
Why,
they're doing year zero.
Yeah, that's why Superman's the target, because they got Superman's the target because he's become Lois is dead and he's Hitler of the world now. So
I'm gonna make then real fast a quick prediction on this game. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it happens after Arkham Knight. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say someone's controlling Superman. I'm gonna say he takes down Arkham Asylum. I'm gonna say everyone gets free. I'm gonna say somehow they round them all back up and say, "Hey, Waller's like we need help.
Need you to fix this shit."
Yep, and we won't make you go back in there, or something like that, or whatever.
Yeah, we'll give you a free pass to get out.
So I think someone's controlling. If that's Superman, someone's controlling Superman, and the goal is to take him down. And at some point, maybe the Justice League finally shows up midway, and they're kind of like, "Hey, what the fuck?" But if they do show up, I don't think switching to playing as the Justice League is a smart move.
I think that would be folly if they did something like that. Hey, we're making this Suicide Squad game, and then halfway through, you play as totally not the Suicide Squad. You stop playing as the anti-hero / villains, and now you play as a superhero master group.
I know another game that did that.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
I said another game did something similar like that. Switches you midway through it, and you gotta play as someone else. Yeah.
I don't know. I think that'd be a terrible idea. No, they shouldn't do that. If you're playing as the Suicide Squad, that is it. That's what you're doing. If they want to tease the fact that probably fucking 10 years from now they'll have a Justice League game, cool. But I don't want to be those characters. Interacting with them is fine. That's what made the Arkham games so good, was that they had so many fine details and Easter eggs in them that just led to that universe. Just mentioning Superman and just all these other different aspects of that universe. So I think it would be just be folly if they did that. Terrible idea.
I'm still gonna say that Arkham Asylum is my favorite one.
Me too, and I will say this: once PlayStation 5's out, I feel like that's where I want to take my trip back through the Arkham universe. Is once I have the PS5, I want to take a full trip through that universe again in one go. Because I think, and just in truth, they'll all look good, but I think Arkham Knight would just look incredible on a PS5 with all the lighting and just the mechanics and everything. I think that's going to be cool. But yeah, I want to take a trip down that memory lane, but not till next gen.
You heard it first. Just Matt's going back to the Arkham series.
I do. I love. You're right. I swear on that every single time I'm asked. Arkham Asylum was the best game that they made in that series. I liked all of them. Arkham Asylum was the best.
A lot of people will say City, which I will fight you with.
I would say City is the weakest of all three. And I think we've already discussed this.
Yeah, I mean,
Knight had its problems, but whatever.
Yeah, the Batmobile.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
So another thing I found interesting this week is the two of us have decided to switch our opinions on Godfall. So if everyone hasn't seen a state of play, we're not going to tackle too much of it. You go watch it. You go listen to the podcast. They've tackled it. Pretty much, they're big things that they kind of showed
40
off.
40 minutes or something like that.
Yeah,
40 minutes. It was really
you could probably skip some of the stuff. Pretty much, they showed off Crash Bandicoot, which the fact you can play as 4 different characters, I thought was weird.
Looks
and
cool.
you can play as Coco the whole time.
Yeah, there's the sister.
Yeah, which was okay, fine.
Yeah, why not?
Won't be buying that on release. I haven't really invested into a Crash game in a while. But the big thing for me was obviously Godfall. I was on board. I thought it looked really cool. I was kind of down to play it, and then I saw the gameplay of it, and I was just like, "God damn, too human! You're stalking my life right now." I did not. It kind of is switching me to the other way. I don't know why. It looks like
really.
I get these feelings of like Too Human. I get these feelings of Anthem, which, Anthem to me looked great. And then they started showing more. I was like, God, this just looks boring. And that's what I think that game is potentially facing, is the same issues that more so Anthem had. Too Human, whatever. Like they just botched that. Silicon Knights, what the fuck they were called. But it just looks like an Anthem problem. It looks like an Anthem problem. It doesn't look like a Destiny style, like not in, let me rephrase that, like in how Destiny handles itself and how it, made Destiny 2 so much better than Destiny 1. This to me is falling in the trap of Destiny 1, where it's like the idea is there and the concept does sound cool, but it just looks like it's just going to be like super repetitive. And I mean, they had talked about there's 5 classes. I think I have notes on it here. Do I have notes on this game? I apparently did not take notes. I really thought I did. But anyway,
it's no big deal.
Yeah, so there's like 5 classes. There's like a dual class, a hammer, a big long sword, short sword, and like a shield or some shit. But I don't know. It just didn't really grab my attention as much as I hoped it was going to.
Mm-hmm.
But you, on the other hand,
yeah, and then me on the other hand switched. I'm not 100% in.
Okay,
that's definitely not going to be the case. I would say I'm like, compared to what I was, which was not in, I'm like 40% in now. I'm like 40% in. I'm not. It's still a lot to work on. I can see there being potential problems with it, but it definitely has me more interested. I like just visually, it looks very interesting to me. But I
didn't get that vibe, man.
Well, no. I mean, let me rephrase that. Not in that it's nice. Like super ahead of itself, but it's just graphically, it's the fidelity of everything that you're seeing looks crisp. It looks shiny, looks nice, but it's not to say that it's advanced or it's doing anything special. And when you hear the developers talking about a lot of things in the game, it sounds like they're pandering, like they're just trying to sound like they're doing something really cool, but it's not necessarily going to be super cool. But I don't know. I mean, I still will say this, even if I wanted to be, if I get close to 100% in, it wouldn't be something that I would get at launch, though. I want to wait and see just a little bit. I don't know if I want to pay $60 or possibly even $70 for that.
No way. You're going to tell me.
No way, not 70.
You're going to tell me that fight that they showed at the end of that trailer, when he's fighting, or she's fighting, whoever it may or may, is fighting that big night demon thingamajig, whatever the hell it is, caught your attention. That looked so boring.
I'm just talking about the first few minutes of it, just the mechanics. I didn't even get to that part.
So really?
I didn't see that. But
dude,
yeah.
Go back and watch it, and then we got to talk, because he
I'll say this
he
too.
does the same move.
I'll say this one. Well, that was one of the issues too, and I think that can be problematic. Is that just the move sets are very weak right now? But that's something that can be tweaked. But I have a buddy who played games similar to this, sort of, Warframe and so on, and he was out, and now he's more interested in it now after he saw that. So he's where I am. He's probably
really
only a little bit in. Yeah, but dude, that game's got a long road, and I'm not saying, dude, holy shit, I have an unhealthy obsession with that game now. I'm more interested in it. I'm curious to see where it goes.
I mean, I think that I want to play Warframe. I do. I said this to you the other day. It's something that I would probably after Ghost of Tsushima, which again I will hopefully have beaten and platinumed by next episode.
Yeah.
But I mean, Warframe to me just has like this weird appeal that I want to dive into, but for some reason, last time I tried to play, it didn't work on my PlayStation. I don't really know why. It, like, wasn't connecting well or something like that. Right. I mean, games like that, like Warframe, because that's pretty much like an MMO, isn't it? Is it more of an MMO?
Kind of, yeah, it's sort of ish. My friend Matt, plays Warframe. He hasn't played it in a while, but he played it pretty consistently for a long period of time. I guess you could define it as an MMO, but I wouldn't strictly call it that either, though. I guess it's kind of a hybrid. But I've heard good things about it. Yeah, he loved it. Oh, yeah, he put in tons of hours into that game, an inordinate amount of time into it. So
really,
yeah,
yeah. Because that's the thing with this game is like, I'm like, okay, is it going to fall into the same? Is it going to fall? If it falls into the Warframe type gameplay, then I would be in. Because again, people swear by Warframe. Again, I haven't played it yet though, but it looks cool. It has my attention.
Well, as someone who played Warframe, my friend Matt said that the combat is not like Warframe from what he can see. He says it differs from that. So, yeah. So don't put all your eggs in that basket. Otherwise, I feel like you're just setting yourself up for disappointment.
I mean, and even so, the way it looked visually, it kind of reminded me of a mix of, like, it kind of looked like a Kingdom of Amalur, and it kind of looked like
Well, because it's high fantasy. It's
like
trying to pull like a high fantasy thing. Yeah, exactly. It's pulling from those. It's got those. It's like high fantasy, but maybe some weird technology in there. But which would be too human. But we keep strumming this guitar.
I know.
Too human. So I don't know. I don't know, man.
There was another game that they showed. I don't remember. Again, I don't know how I lost my fucking notes on this. And it was the one where the archer one. Did you see that? The girl's like an archer. It looked almost like a Shadow of Colossus style game.
Maybe Pathfinder, is that what it's called?
Yes, that was it. That was it.
Yeah.
Interesting concept.
More like Breath of the Wild.
You thought so?
Yeah, I'd say more like Breath of the Wild.
I thought it was more like Shadow of Colossus, only in the fact of like you fight these huge monster things. You know, you have to get them to spread the light, and you know it's kind of like Shadow of Colossus. There's what 12 colossi, 9 colossi, or something like that, or
16.
I was off by 4. If you go from the 12, but I mean, I only played Shadow of Colossi, and I only got to took down like 4 of them, and I was like, I'm out. This isn't for me. I played it back on the PS2 originally.
Yeah,
and this just reminded me of that. I didn't really understand the point of the whole just sliding around shooting targets. I was like, is this what is this? Is this trying to be like a skill? I don't know. I thought it looked cool visually, but I couldn't get a grip on it. But it did remind me a lot of, again, Shadow of Colossi and The Last Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
But you think it was more like Breath of the Wild in the sense of how it looks.
Yeah, in terms of the visual aesthetic of it, and I think the exploration it's more in terms of the world. It's going to be more like Breath of the Wild. Just kind of get out there and find shit.
What's interesting to me about Breath of the Wild is that I don't know if did they kind of create that graphic palette, like that kind of shaded, cartoony kind of comic, not really, palette.
I don't think they created that. I mean, they have their own maybe color scheme that they're using, or colors for the game itself, but I don't think they invented it.
You don't think they created that?
No, I don't think they created that style. I mean,
can you think of a game that's similar to that style?
In terms of cell shading and shit?
Like that looked a little less cell shady. That looked, I don't know. I mean, I didn't really think it looked too cell shady. I thought it had resemblance of it, but I can't really think of a game that was similar to looking at Breath of the Wild. Maybe Wind Waker.
I mean, but Wind Waker was really cell shaded though. That was crazy cell shaded compared to this. This was more realistic. I don't know. I guess it's just the cartoony vibe. I mean, it's Zelda. It's always looked cartoony. It's never been, the most realistic Zelda ever got was in Twilight Princess, and that was just very dark, brooding. This is just.
Was that before Skyward Sword?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know one of them is, I forget what I was listening to, and someone was talking about either Skyward Sword or Twilight Princess. One of them was more action-y and less dungeon-y. That's what they said. I didn't really know.
And that maybe would have been. I don't know. Maybe Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword fucking sucked. That was literally the most garbage Zelda game. I very rarely talk shit about Zelda. That game was fucking utter garbage. It was so bad. Twilight Princess gets a lot of shit, but I think that was one of the better ones.
Twilight Princess came for GameCube, right?
Yes, it was originally a GameCube game, but it also launched on the Wii as well. I played it on the GameCube though, because I didn't have a Wii. But it was funny because I remember. So shout out to Eric and his brother Jacques. Actually, I remember we went to go. They got the Wii. They pre-ordered it. We went to the Monmouth Mall to pick it up. I didn't know if I was getting the system or not, but I had pre-ordered Twilight Princess on the Wii. So I gave them my pre-order to pick it up. So they had that, but I remember I got it on GameCube. I actually had both copies pre-ordered, so I got the GameCube one, and they just took the Wii one.
The Wii was hard to find, man. That took me a while to get a hold of that. And so was the fucking Switch. I remember I bought the Switch from somebody for $100 more on Craigslist. Fine. I drove to Best Buy the same day to go get something for my phone, and they had all new Switches in stock. I was like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me!"
I have the fucking best. It's not even that good of a story. I just think it's hilarious. I remember the day that it came out. I was still working at my last job, I won't name the name, but I was still working at my last job, and it came out on a Friday, and I remember it was like 10 o'clock in the morning. Now, mind you, or was it a Thursday or a Friday that it came out? Maybe it was a Thursday, but I remember it came out, and I called Best Buy because my office was right near the brick store. So I called and I was like, "Hey, do you guys have any Switches left?" And the kid was like, "I can't really say." And
What?
I was like, God, because I guess they didn't want to just say like, "Yes, we do," because they don't want people coming in there and fucking robbing the place. I don't know. But I said, you know what? Okay, so you can't tell me if you have any Switches directly. But I just, it was like, if I were to leave my office right now, which is less than 10 minutes away, and I were to get there within 15 minutes, how likely would I be to get one? And the guy was like,
You reworded it?
The guy actually goes, I think you would have a pretty okay chance of getting it. So I said, fuck it. I immediately put myself on D&D. I got in my car, and when I tell you I was driving through Lakewood at like 65 miles, 70 miles an hour on these back roads to get there, almost got in a car accident getting into the parking lot of Best Buy and then walking in. I walk in, and I look behind the counter where they're like, "Oh, you're here for Switch?" They guide me over to the section. There's just these giant ass stacks of Switches, and I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I rushed to get this, and then of course I got it, and then I got that. I got Breath of the Wild, and I got a 64 gig card, and I fucked off. But I almost got a crazy bad car accident on the way there.
Did you get do you have any drift problems with your Joy-Cons yet or no?
Oh yeah, it started back mid COVID shutdown. My left stick is starting to go, but it's not terrible, and I also don't feel like spending the money to get a new one right now because I just don't really see it. It's not so bad that I can't play games, but once it starts getting to a point where games are unplayable, then I will have to get a new set of Joy-Cons. So
fair enough. Yeah, Steph's still playing Animal Crossing like it's her fucking job, so that's what she does. But it looks like Jason just popped in, so we're going to take a quick break and get a quick word from our sponsor.
Why Am I a Nerd podcast network has been brought to you by our sponsor, Me Moms. The best breakfast and lunch down the Jersey Shore with 3 great locations in Wall Township, Middletown, and Brick, New Jersey. Me Moms specializes in unique and fun takes on your traditional lunch and breakfast items. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can find more information at www.memoms.com.
We're back, and we have Jason with us. He was finally able to get his damn internet, as we were saying before, with the whole storm problem. Because you're in Pennsylvania? Delaware. Where the hell are you at? Delaware. You guys lose power?
It flickered here, maybe like 10 minutes away. A tornado actually touched down, and there were people without power for at least 24 hours. I think almost 36.
That's like, I lost it for like 2 hours. I was good to go.
Yeah.
So, Matt, you're laughing.
I saw something on my phone that's making me laugh. It's
Fair
not
enough.
appropriate for the podcast, though.
Why not?
Sorry.
We curse on this
not.
damn thing, but fine.
It's a little inappropriate.
So, obviously, we're like halfway through, so we're not going to do the bracket thing, but what we're going to do today is we're going to Witcher watch. And we're talking the goddamn Witcher, because we've been waiting for this. We are doing this bracket, just so everyone knows, eventually the 3 of us are going to go through this bracket of the 10 out of 10 games from IGN and GameSpot and figure out what the best game is. But we had so many damn problems today with my work, Jason's work, internet, that Jason popped in. At least he got on the show, and Lucy's here with us. So we're going to talk Witcher. But beforehand, Jason, your fucking PlayStation went to shit last night, didn't it?
Yes, it did. It ended up, I had to, I just reinitialized it. I unhooked, I deactivated it. I took off my external storage. I'm like, fuck it. I'm just going to start fresh with this. So I formatted everything, and
that sucks.
Yeah.
Because you were 80% through Uncharted.
Yes. I was actually going through, I started yesterday morning at like 9% of the first Uncharted. And I've had these games forever. It's just like, I think I mentioned it 2 weeks ago. It's just like a time issue for me. I started yesterday at 9%. Last night I got up to 80%, and it went into the blue screen, and I tried to recover it, and it just said this save file is corrupt. And I'm like, well, fuck this. So I took the opportunity to just format everything and kind of start fresh.
So your PlayStation's bone dry.
Right now, yeah. Well, there's Skyrim on it, and I re-downloaded on the Uncharted collection. So those are both on it right now, but that's about it.
That would suck. I would be pissed. I'd probably be calling Matt and telling him, what do I do? Matt, help, my PlayStation shot. Well, first you gotta clean the fan, asshole. Okay, fine. I'm still getting to that.
At this point, you just needed to live long enough to get a PS5.
I know. I got hopefully fucking 2 or 3 months. We'll see. But,
yeah, I had to get a new controller though.
Did you?
Order it from
I lost one of mine. I don't know what the fuck it is.
It's weird. I was when I was playing last night, like I started to notice, or rather all day yesterday, I noticed like I think there's drift on the left stick, or it's just not functioning properly, because I'd be like trying to just walk in Doom, and he would literally be like moving at a snail's pace. Like it's like it would be the equivalent of you're in a game and you're moving through mud. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? This is stupid. And it just wouldn't fix it. And I was, so I just said, fuck it, went on Amazon. But it's crazy because there's no regular black DualShock controllers. You have to like wait until almost the end of September to get them. And or they have some of the crazy colored ones. And I was like, I'll just get this midnight blue one for $5 extra and ship it. It just needs to last me long enough until I get a new console. So the controller still works that I have. It's just starting to drift. So I was like, okay, I'll just have a backup and I can trade it in if I need to. But I don't know. It's just a weird time for systems, little technical difficulties.
Yeah, it's just like we said it before. Someone needs to pull the trigger. Someone needs to give us a price. Someone needs to give us a date. But
well, I could tell you the most likely time frame. I have something I've been speculating is because just recently, I mean, within the last couple of weeks, Destiny 2 bumped its next expansion's release date from like September up to, I want to say it's November 10th or 11th now. So if they're bumping their release date up for that game, I would say that the new consoles are likely coming out within 1 to 2 weeks before, or 1 to 2 weeks after that date, I would say.
So October. So
I would say very, very late October or first or second week of November, it's going to be coming out. Both of them would be, Xbox and PlayStation, respectively. So
very interesting. Well, that'll be a sight to see. But all right, I've been waiting for this. Let's fucking get into this. I want to know, Witcher Watch, Jason, has your thoughts changed?
No.
What? You fucker. Fuck this. Fuck it.
What the hell?
I finally left White Orchard. Finally. I went through and I played this just like I would any other open world. I would follow main quests. I would pick up other quests here and there, and then it just turned into hours of exploration. I mean, there were times where I wouldn't do a main quest for 5 or 6 hours. I'd just be going around looking at stuff, discovering new things, taking out abandoned camps, whatever. I finally got into where I don't even know what city it was, but it was like the Eternal Flame guys were there, and you're at Triss's house and everything. And I spent literally 5 minutes walking at a very slow pace, following someone to find this super secret hideout. And then I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm done. I just could not get into that game. I gave it a fair shot. I was probably 22 hours into it all in. I just cannot get into it.
Dude, I'm like, so you would not like Ghost of Tsushima, I'll tell you that much.
Okay.
If I mean, Matt, help.
I can't help. I am speechless. I do not know what to say. Honestly, that's wow.
I mean, nothing. I mean, you didn't like the exploration of that in the game?
No, I found it moved at a very slow pace.
What?
The combat was very slow. I just didn't like. I hated the movement in it. Oh my god, hated the movement. Yeah, I just could not get into it.
Bro, you explained to us on the first show you're on, you play a game with text, that you look at text.
Yes. That game is more exciting for me than The Witcher.
I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm like dumb. I was like, okay, he's gonna come in and be like, all right, I'm in now. Like, Matt's speechless. Matt doesn't even want
I did. I mean, well, all right, guys. I'll catch you next week. I'm about to just go play the Avengers Beta. I don't know what to say. That is apocryphal.
What's that word mean? I don't know what that means.
Well, it doesn't mean anything related to what we're talking about. I just love the sound of it sometimes because I think you can do exactly that where you go, what does that mean? But I just think that is crazy to me. I mean, shit,
So
dude. Well, if the combat's too slow for you, you're not specking your character out the right way. You're doing a slower class. You could do like the cat school build and be faster.
So I fully explored White Orchard again. Shocking. I did probably, I don't know, 75-85% of Velen, however you choose to pronounce it. I mean, there weren't that many unexplored places in that part of the world, that part of the map. And I don't know. Everything seemed very, very repetitive to me. It almost seemed like I was playing World of Warcraft, just bouncing from quest to quest to quest to quest, and then boom, level up, quest, level up. The whole sense of exploration and excitement I would get from discovering a new area, like I do in other games, just was not there for me in that game.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I think that
I'm the one person that doesn't like The Witcher 3. You found them.
Seriously. I mean, you might almost like Witcher 2 better than 3, to be honest with you. I mean, 1 is like real difficult to play, but I mean, the fact that you didn't like I said, I think that Witcher 3, if you don't like Witcher 3, like I said, Ghost of Tsushima is definitely not a game you would like. I mean, I think that Witcher, did you play Odyssey?
Assassin's Creed?
Yeah.
I think so. All of the Assassin's Creeds kind of run together for me because I was never like a diehard fan of the series from the start. I've played multiple iterations. I just couldn't tell you which one was which.
Origins, I think, is the best one, in my opinion. I think Matt and I agree on that one. That if you go Origins, the way to go. Odyssey is huge. Odyssey is really big. If you didn't like The Witcher, I don't think you would probably like Odyssey. I didn't like Odyssey. Matt, you had mixed feelings about Odyssey? What do you think about Odyssey?
Yeah, I'm still kind of on the fence. There's a lot of good shit and then a lot of not fun shit in that game. Origins was definitely better of the two, for sure. No question.
Yeah. So I guess this is safe to say, like we said before, we'll say it again, you are definitely not getting Cyberpunk.
As of right now, no. There's still way too much stuff I have in my backlog, and now with everything that happened, I need to kind of get all that back onto the system, and who knows? We'll see.
I mean, that's just one fucking hell of a clusterfuck that just happened for this entire. I don't even know what to say. Real fast before we wrap up, I do want to go over this thing. I sent you the link. Mm-hmm. Just Jason, let me see if I can send you it as well. I'm going to send it to you're on a laptop, Jason, or no?
Send it to my email.
All right.
Same one you did for this.
It's just a quick thing that we're going to run through. Email. Which I think is pretty fucking funny because I'm curious on how many of these things you guys had compared to how many of these things I had. And Matt, you have it open?
I do, and I'm going to be honest with you. I took a quick look on this thing. I think I might have only had one of these things ever.
Dude, I looked through this. I haven't even heard of half of this shit.
Yeah. No, I think I only had one of these fucking things.
I'm looking now.
All right, so we're gonna go through this real fast, just so everyone knows what we're talking about. I'll post the link. It's 14 unusual video game accessories that you totally bought, and I'm gonna say bullshit because some of this stuff I don't. So the first thing on here is a CTA digital 6-in-1 sports pack. So you have I guess this is obviously for PlayStation. It's the wands, and one of them is a golf club. One of them is a tennis racket, and the other one is a ping pong thing, which definitely don't have that. And then the second one, which I don't even know what the fuck this thing is. If you guys go to the Aura Interactor, So I guess this is essentially the original version of a Rumble controller.
That's what it looks like. That also was it. I'm reading the description now. Was this just for feeling vibrations on your entire chest? Like what?
Yeah. It's weird. It looks like anyone. I'll post the link. You guys can follow along with us. It literally looks like a pack that you put on your front.
You know what? It looks like a what were they? Proton packs from Ghostbusters. It kind of looks like one of those.
Okay.
Like put some straps on it, put on your back. That's a proton pack.
Fair. Or it looks like something from a laser tag. The third thing here, which I almost bought this stupid fucking thing, was the Steel Battalion controller. I almost bought this game, and I almost bought. Did you have it, Matt?
No, dude. I was fucking poor growing up for the most part. And I mean, when this shit was out, I couldn't afford that fucking thing.
Yeah, this thing was like $200, maybe even more. And pretty much so if anyone knows what Mech Warrior is, just think of Mech Warrior.
Yeah.
But you have the fucking controllers. So there's 3 controllers. There's foot pedals. You have dual joysticks. You looks like you have a clutch that makes you go faster, and every single button you could possibly think of. Maybe one day I'll find this. Then the fourth thing, we have the N64 glove controller, which I don't know why, but Nintendo comes up with some weird ass fucking shit. This literally,
did that mount to a chair? It looks like.
I think that's supposed to be your forearm.
Oh.
I'm assuming.
So it mounts to like your entire up here, and then you control it down here, because it looks like that there's like a servo like where the elbow would be. I didn't know if that would mount on a chair to where you can do this, or if you actually did it and it was kind of like a Wii 1.0 where you could do whatever.
I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck the point of this is, or anyone even. I've never even seen this before. N64 had the DD, which was a disc drive for the N64.
I don't think really like anyone and like very few people in the West had those. I don't think that was released really outside of Japan, or maybe I'm mistaken.
The disc drive?
Yeah.
What was it even for? Like
I don't know.
They never even. I don't even think Nintendo ever put out a disc-based game. So Matt, you said you had one of these things.
I think I did.
I'm gonna guess.
Rectify that and say none. Actually.
Oh, I was gonna say that you had the Game Boy camera.
No, like I told you, when I was growing up, I was poor, so I didn't have that shit. I mean, I had a Game Boy, but I didn't have the camera, and I didn't get that little printer. Looking at the list, I had absolutely none of these things. So
the Game Boy camera, obviously, it had it was attached to the top of the original Game Boy, and I think they actually used it in Pokemon. And then moving forward, we decided to put out a bowling ball, which, fuck.
Whatever, yeah.
I vaguely remember, I was never a big Wii guy. Like, I have a Wii, but I wasn't into all the Wii sports. I didn't have, like, the $300 Wii and then the $900 accessory package that you could get, it seemed like. But this does look vaguely familiar to me. Not in blue, but it does look familiar.
Are you guys on number 8?
Yes.
Because so everyone knows it's a Wii cooking kit. What the fuck? The Wii car adapter, cool, fine, sure, whatever. I guess you can just play it in your fucking car.
That looks to me like something you would find in one of the Fast and Furious movies when they're all just kind of hanging around waiting for a race. Someone's playing PlayStation. It looks like somebody would be playing a Wii.
But where's the adapter? I don't even see what the fucking adapter
You're
is.
saying something with an adapter, but there's no adapter.
Right.
Yeah, that's just a stock Wii image.
Kid Icarus Uprising 3DS stand. I think that Nintendo needs to come up with a new Kid Icarus game because I think it's a cool concept and I'd like to play it. But
yeah,
I don't know what that and what's the game with Ness?
Mother.
What?
Mother.
Oh, I thought he was in Earthbound.
Well, that's what I think that's what the other name for it is, Mother. Like that's what those games are called.
So number 11, we have something called Rob, which is apparently a beloved Nintendo icon. Sure.
I'm actually old enough to remember this.
What?
Yes, I am familiar with this. It was just one of the original. So for the original NES, you had like all these different things. You had the Power Glove, you had the Duck Hunt pistol. This was just one of those things. I mean, it was basically just like a gimmick, but I do remember being like 10 or 11 years old and reading hype about this.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I guess it's a river that follows you around. Which the next thing, we're at 2 more left. The Sega Activator reminds me of the thing for NES that you used to have when you had the track and field and you had to run on the pad. You never saw that thing?
No.
It was like it was track and field. You had it was 3 people. You had 6 pads, 2, 2, 2, 2 to do, and you just had to run. And the guy on the screen would move. You all had to jump together, and he would jump. It was fucking bonkers. So this is pretty much this.
Maybe.
This, I guess, is just a way to be a karate kid. Sure. Here's the Power Glove, which
Hey, there it is.
I don't really understand how this even worked. I don't understand why they came up with it. Probably wasn't the greatest creation ever by Nintendo, but it seems like Nintendo seems to be falling on this line. I never had a Power Glove. Never even seen someone that had a Power Glove. I don't think I've seen a Power Glove in real life. So Power Glove, not on my list. And then the last, this is a joke, right? The last one is Xbox deodorant. It looks
I
like,
gotta be honest with you. Whoever put this list together the fact that someone got paid to put this article together with the title that they did should be fucking fired.
I mean, the only thing on this list that I've actually ever seen, there was actually 2 of them, was the Power Glove, and I have seen that N64.
I mean, I know what the Power Glove is, and I know what the disc drive was, but to say that the 14 things that you totally bought, I would say 90+% of people had none of this shit.
Yeah, the freaking Xbox literally looks like an Axe commercial. Like, it looks like an Axe stock image. Yeah. That's how fucking fucked up this is.
So back in the early 90s, there's a movie called The Wiz. Do either of you remember that?
Oh, yes.
It was basically a 90-minute commercial for Nintendo and more specifically Super Mario Brothers 3.
Yes.
I think Nintendo bought and paid for that entire movie. But there was in one scene, the kid, like the kid who had every single Nintendo thing ever made, and like they showed like a wall of stuff. He actually had a Power Glove, I think.
Mm-hmm. He did. No, I think that's where, that was the symbology of that movie with the Power Glove.
Yeah.
Just brimming with 90s metal music.
Yep. And then at the very end, it was basically a release trailer for Super Mario Brothers 3. Back before there were anything like release trailers as we know them today, that was a Super Mario Brothers 3 release trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Done by Hollywood with Fred Savage as the actor, as the main lead. Yeah.
Matt, I gotta ask, did you get the ding yet? Is it downloaded? Are you ready to get the beta?
Dude, it's been downloaded for the majority of the show.
Well, I thought you were gonna say something and be like, "Hey, we got the beta." So.
Oh, I thought I did. No, yeah. As soon as we say cut, man, I'm gonna get it going.
So, but
gotta try to get in some time before it shuts down.
Yeah, we'll let you get to that. Jason, thank you for finally getting on. I know we had some hiccups.
But yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't be here for the whole thing.
No, that's all right. Like I said, I definitely want to do this bracket thing. Hopefully next week we can get something going with that. I guess, once again, this is Why Am I Nerd? It's Outfitted Goal Games. You can follow us on Instagram at Why Am I Nerd Official, Facebook.com/Why Am I Nerd. And listen to new episodes every Monday on YouTube and your favorite podcast service. Matt, you're going to have for us next week some info on Avengers.
Yes, and don't forget, next weekend is a public, so you can do it too.
Okay,
you just fucking download it. You don't spend money, dickhead.
I know. Obviously, Jason, Witcher Watch is dead. It's not happening. We don't like The Witcher.
Witcher Watch isn't dead. It was barely alive, apparently.
I gave at least 20 hours to that game.
Probably. I respect that. I respect it. Matt might feel a little differently than me, but I respect the effort. So, but until next time, thanks everybody. We're out.
Peace.
All right.